Welcome to the NFL Trade Show for Week 12 for FantasyAlarm.com. I'm your host, Ray Flowers. Let's talk about all those players that may or may not be on the waiver wire. If you're in a 10-team league, all these guys are probably going to be there. If you're in a 14-team league, maybe not. But let's just go through them position by position. And you can also read the article, obviously, that's attached to the video for more detailed information on all these guys. Let's start out the quarterback position. Ryan Mount looked pretty good for a guy making his first NFL start. Huge arm, very immobile, completed 2/3 of his passes. Wasn't afraid to stick the ball into some tight spots with Andre Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins. Didn't have a great statistical day, but didn't look bad at all. Good news for the Whiteouts with the Texans. Mount, still a low-level quarterback, too. Not much beyond that should be expected. Josh McCown. Wow, Josh McCown. Didn't think that the Bucs were making the right decision when they went from Mike Glennon back to Josh McCown, but it's turned out to be the right decision. Averaging almost 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns a week the last 2. He has basically made Mike Evans a superstar. So good news for Josh McCown. He, though, isn't someone that should be expected to replicate that percentage and that performance from the last 2 weeks, as well as the performance he had last season with the Bears. Expect less than that. McCown in a good week is, he's going to be ranked 15 to 18 at the quarterback position. Very difficult to envision him being a quarterback one in the fantasy game. Drew Stanton, same kind of thing. It's a good offense. It's a good offense with the Cardinals, and the way it's set up, games of 250 yards and 2 touchdowns for Stanton certainly could be possible. We saw Michael Floyd assert himself with a couple of scores, though. Well, actually, I'll save that. We'll talk about him in a second. Bottom line is with Stanton, a nice ad in a 2 QB league, not a 1 quarterback league edition, just not talented enough, and he's not accurate enough either, and that's probably going to hold him back long term. Let's go to the running back position. 2 huge stories to talk about before we get to the other guys. First one being the Cleveland Browns, who have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. Mike Pettin comes out after the game and says, look, we're not going to go with one guy. We're going to go game plan. We're going to go game flow. We're going to go matchups. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. And at the end, we'll think he's a genius. But right now, he doesn't know what's going on in terms of who's going to be the lead guy in the backfield. We saw Terrence West get 41 carries in back-to-back games. 41 total carries in those back-to-back games. He had 5 yesterday. What? So he went from averaging 20 carries to 5. Ben Tate, who was the lead guy early in the season, got hurt. Came back and had a couple of nice games. He scored a couple of touchdowns in his last 4 games, but he has 28 yards on his last 22 carries. He's not the guy. So the guy right now, it's Isaiah Crowell, who could be the most talented runner of the group, but he's also the guy who has fumble issues. He fumbled another ball in Week 11. The team kept faith in him, put him back out there. Crowell is the guy to own right now. At one point, all 3 of these runners were the guy for the Browns. No telling who's going to be the guy next week, 7 days from now. Disaster. Try to avoid it if you possibly can. Now, the situation with the Patriots. Oh, my gosh. The greatest runner in the history of football? Jonas Gray? Maybe? Maybe not. But Gray had a tremendous effort last night on Sunday Night Football. What did he do? 199 yards and 4 touchdowns. Everyone's going to add him because of that effort. Everyone should add him. He is the lead back. He is the red zone option. He is the power, the thunder for the Patriots. But many things to consider here. Number 1, Shane Green is going to be heavily involved, just the way it is. Number 2, the Patriots are disastrous in terms of trying to predict what they're going to do with their backfield. 1 week it's the pass receiver, 1 week it's the rusher. It's very conceivable that next week Jonas Gray disappears, even though he had the big effort today. Number 3, the Patriots had 3 rushing touchdowns all season long before Gray had 4 last night. This is not a team that's run the ball a lot down at the goal line. And the last point, which really needs to be pointed out here. In the NFL, there are 18 running backs who have had the ball with inside the 8-yard line and had 8 carries in that situation. So 18 guys inside the 8-yard line, 8 carries this season. 18 guys in all of the NFL. Jonas Gray had 8 such carries in Week 11. Hopefully that perspective tells you that it was a great game, stupendous effort, but you should be very wary about huge efforts moving forward for all the reasons I listed. Some other runners, let's go through them real quickly. Roy Liu, great game as a pass receiver, got into the end zone for the Redskins. If Alfred Morris were ever to be hurt, Liu would be a monster in a PPR setup. As of now, just a depth play. In Indianapolis, guess who got hurt at the running back position? Oh, wait a second. Oh, it's Ahmad Bradshaw. Yeah, I warned everyone that this would happen. Literally, I've been warning people this for 3 months. Hopefully you had a backup plan. Bradshaw hurt his foot. He could be out 4 to 6 weeks with the fracture. Disastrous for the Colts. Trent Richardson, obviously, if he's available, run to the waiver wire and add him. I can't see how he would be available in any league. The guy that's going to be added is Heron. Heron, excuse me. He'll probably see 5 to 10 touches. He might get a little more than that, depending on how bad Richardson is. Richardson didn't do anything on Sunday night, 7 carries for no yards for the Colts. So Heron's someone you can add, not someone to get excited about. He'll fill a support role. Richardson probably looking at 20-plus touches a week in a dynamic Colts offense. Trey Mason, if he's still out there, get him. Every game he has played for the Rams this season, every game, he has led that team in rushing. Well over 100 yards in Week 11. Almost got to 30 carries as well. A couple of good matchups the next 2 weeks. Latavius Murray had his best game of the season. Not saying much. The Raiders only given him 6 carries before Week 11. Now, MDD is done. He's through. He's got nothing left. Darren McFadden is averaging like 11 carries and 39 yards a week. It's weird. It's odd. It's strange that the Raiders haven't attempted to get Murray more involved because he's the only one of those 3 runners that might have a future with the team. 6'2", 6'3", 225 pounds, lots of speed. Murray is someone who will be utilized, you would have to think, moving forward. Is that to the level of being a redraft starter? I mean, can't be. The Raiders are averaging 63 yards a game on the ground. They're 0-10. They're scoring 15 points. They are historically bad. Dynasty League, Murray's a great ad. Redraft leagues, not much to see there. And finally, Juwan Thompson. We don't know about the status of Monte Balls having his groin checked out, but he could be missing significant time. We got a report that Ronnie Hillman could miss up to 6 weeks with his foot injury. Anderson, CJ, back you want to own. He saw a massive workload. Thompson barely wasn't even utilized in Week 11 in the support role, but looks like Thompson's the number 2 guy right now, and if you like to play that game, there it is. At the wide receiver position, quickly, Kenny Britt, big game. Not someone you can trust as anything more than a wide receiver 4 or 5. Sean Hill being the quarterback does help out Britt, but it's an offense that doesn't have a lot of success passing. Michael Floyd, who I referenced earlier, 2 touchdowns. Great news. But he only had 2 catches, only went for 54 yards, only had 5 targets. Still not a high-volume play right now. Still a guy that's very difficult to trust. Don't beat yourself up if you didn't start him in Week 11. You shouldn't have been starting him in Week 11 in most instances. He shouldn't be on the waiver wire. He should be on someone's roster. But it doesn't mean you've got to be playing him in Week 12. Again, 2 catches, 54 yards. The touchdowns are great, but it wasn't that productive a day. Charles Johnson with the Vikings. Someone to add. Why? Gray Jennings is hurt. Jarius Wright is hurt. We saw Johnson, who is a workout warrior, have a good game. 7 catches, 80-plus yards, that kind of thing. He might do that moving forward, but the Vikings have shown no consistency in the passing game. They weren't able to get Kyle Rudolph going in his first game, didn't have a catch. Patterson obviously hasn't done anything all season long. Tough to trust Johnson, even with the injuries to the other 2 guys. And then finally, 2 other guys. Gabriel with the Browns. Not much to see there, despite good efforts. When they're bringing back Jordan Cameron and Josh Gordon to an offense, you got to figure Gabriel sees his target total decline. And then Kenny Stills. Thumbs up, Kenny Stills. He is someone to add. He could be a wide receiver 3. Brandon Cooks is going to miss anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks with a broken thumb. Because of that, Stills is now not just going to be a deep threat. He's going to be someone that does a little bit more of the high percentage stuff underneath. Kenny Stills is a very good target in Week 11. Finally, Week 12. Finally, the tight end position. Charles Clay, 17 receptions the last 3 games. Nice option in the PPR setup, even though not getting a lot of yardage totals. We've got the case of Jacob Tamme. Julius Thomas hurt his ankle. Don't know how long he's going to be out, but Jacob Tamme actually came on and had 10 targets to lead all Broncos receivers in Week 11. Not a high upside play, not someone that's just going to be thrown out there and replace the touchdown productivity of Julius Thomas. He's someone that could be a tight end 1. He could be. Emmanuel Sanders suffered a concussion in the game as well for the Broncos, so someone is going to have to step forward, be it Wes Welker, be it Jacob Tamme for the Broncos. Jermaine Gresham, 2 touchdowns. You don't care. Don't worry about it. Garrett Graham with the Texans had a touchdown, a decent game. It was all in 1 drive. Don't worry. The last guy, Coby Fleener, is someone to think about. Dwayne Allen hurt his ankle. Reports suggest high ankle sprain. High ankle sprains can take anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. Coby Fleener in the most high-profile passing offense in football, more than 43 passes a week the Colts throw. Fleener is someone to look at. He's someone to consider adding in all formats. He had 144 yards in Week 11. He's seen 18 targets and gone for at least 75 yards his last 2 outings. Maybe he finally lives up to the expectations now that Dwayne Allen is going to miss some time. Take a breath. Ray Flowers has been the waiver flavor piece for Week 12. Don't forget to visit fantasyalarm.com for more videos, for more of my writing, and just for some general merriment. Thanks for listening. Talk to y'all again soon.